bottom fives and top fives from people who watch the show on YouTube.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. I've got to just swap a few things around here. Hope I press the right buttons because I have a tendency to not do that. Right. First up, Copeman number 1. He just, no real explanation, no detailed explanations as to why, but these are his bottom fives and top five. So, his worst episode, first person shooter, and then you've got the usual suspects in there: Fight Club, Rush.
The only one that wasn't in ours was Hollywood AD. From the bottom 5 there.
I understand why somebody would take a disliking to Hollywood AD. It is kind of all over the place, but I did find it really entertaining.
But that is a very subjective episode. You either like that mood and swing, or you just won't.
Yeah. So I get that. I can understand it being in there, is what I'm saying. As for the rest, as for his other 4, I mean, like you say, between the two of us, we've had all 4 of them in. Makes sense to me. As far as his top 5 go, Orison's in there, which is quite nice to see. The Goldberg variation, Ex-Cops. I'm expecting to see Goldberg variation and Ex-Cops in your top 5. Hungry.
That's interesting.
It's interesting. I think we both really thought that Hungry was elevated somewhat because it came right after Sixth Extinction.
And
I think anything's going to feel quite elevated after those 2 episodes. Hungry's solid, I would say. But top 5. I mean, number 2 of the season. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. I mean, obviously, again, subjective thing. So, whether I'm sure or not is neither here nor there. That's his top 2. So, but Jay Sohetti. I can understand being in someone's top 5. Definitely an entertaining one. Next up is Bar OC 19. So he says this is a 5-star episode. So these were posted on last week's video, which was the Requiem chat that we did. So he was talking about that being a 5-star episode. Nice callback to the pilot. I think season 7 went into production with the possibility that it might be the final season. It was renewed last minute. These That's top 5, bottom 5 aren't easy, but I will start with the bottom 5. Bottom 5, it's got, I'm assuming that's in order of worst to not as worst. But so Sixth Extinction.
I think I would have put it, part 2 is worse than part 1.
Yes, I would. Definitely. It just like when you felt like you were hitting the face with the first part, but like there was somewhere for it to go, and then it didn't go anywhere, and it was just 45 minutes of Mulder moping about in a dream world with a character none of us even like. So all things. Obviously, you get a yay from me with that one. Rush feels better suited for a Buffy episode. Absolutely,
I think it would be the bottom 5 of a Buffy episode as well. To be honest,
definitely. And first person shooter, which I think is pretty much going to be on most people's lists. To be honest, top 5 Ex-Cops is number 1. Really funny take on reality TV. And I went into it remembering it not being that great, being overhyped, but I actually, I ended up giving it 5 stars. It is great. I don't know if age plays into that or what, but Goldberg variation is at number 2, an episode where I sit back with a smile. It is a feel-good episode, I think. It's just the amazing Malini, really fun and entertaining. Hungry, never eat coleslaw from fast food places. Absolutely. And Jay Suheti, again, making it into someone's top 5 there.
Good list.
We've got Bastian. He likes to give us a full lowdown on his, so I'll do his bottom 5 first. So here's number 5 is Rush. He says, I haven't got anything particularly bad to say about this episode. It was just very middle of the road and forgettable. Millennium at number 4. I had not seen the show Millennium when I first watched this, nor for a long time after that. I didn't even know the show existed for a long time. I didn't find the episode that interesting and was often left confused by the finer details. For example, it was not until your review that I realized Mulder had found salt in the bin, which was why he was able to survive being in the basement with zombies, which... When I did see the show Millennium, I think I understood the episode a bit more, but was left feeling even more underwhelmed by it than I did before. It's not a bad episode, it's just incredibly meh. Okay. Signs and Wonders at number 3, one that Graham rated pretty highly at 4.5.
Yeah, I like this one a lot.
You did. But yeah, his third worst, which is, to be fair, I think this episode is actually pretty well written, but I personally don't like it. O'Connor makes my skin crawl so much. I think that was the priest guy, wasn't it? I cannot stand the scenes with him in it. I can kind of understand that. Number 2, Fight Club. Yay! Fight Club and first person shooter. Let's face it, those two are vying for most people's 1 and 2. They were actually the first and second lowest episodes of the season, according to IMDb users. I said this in your review, Fight Club. If you switch your brain off, this can be a bit of mindless fun, but that doesn't disguise the fact that it is terrible and makes little sense. In some ways, I would rather watch this than Signs and Wonders, but I had to place it lower because the quality is so much poorer. Number 1, first person shooter. This was a bad episode, even when it first aired, but it has aged like milk. It dated badly from a technological point of view, which is a feat in itself because we still haven't developed the level of technology in the show to create what is essentially a holodeck. The dialogue and visuals are incredibly cringe, and it pretty much fails in every aspect to address its theme of feminism and chauvinism in a meaningful or accurate way. I couldn't agree more. Terrible. So his top 5 are: number 5, Sein und Sieg, which is the first part of the 2-part episode about Mulder's sister. It's one of the few times where I don't rank the part 1 and part 2 episodes directly next to each other. I find Closure the significantly stronger of the two, but this one is still good too. I think Closure helped Sein und Sieg get into my top 5 by association, as I'm not sure where it would have made it here if it was its own standalone episode. It's the fact that it sets up Closure that gives it that extra oomph. Although me and Graham, I think we both gave it like a 0.5 higher than Closure. I think we enjoyed the setup more than we did the payoff. Only marginally, though. It's still a great payoff. But number 4, Enemy. I found the switch up of character dynamics both intriguing and refreshing. I enjoyed trying to figure out what Cancerman's intentions are with this little field trip he takes Scully on. Number 3, the Goldberg variation. Pure, quirky fun, simply designed to put a smile on your face. It's a well-written comedy, and Willie Garson was an excellent guest actor. Number 2 is Requiem. While Closure was a conclusion to Samantha's storyline, Requiem felt like the conclusion to the actual series. At the time, I didn't have access to the internet or fans magazines. So for a while, I really thought that this was the end of the show. I loved all the callbacks to the pilot episode, and looking back now, I appreciate how well that was handled. In recent years, I've seen shows, Star Trek, that hit you over the head with a hammer to let you know they are making a reference back to things in a previous series. Here, they respect their longtime fans by putting references in, but not going, look. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think, even when we discussed it, you didn't pick up on some of the references.
No, there was some I missed.
And I feel like if that was like, as he says, like Star Trek, they'd nod and wink at it so much that even if you didn't remember it, you'd know, oh, that was a reference. Don't know what it was a reference to, but I know it was a reference because of the way they winked at the camera, essentially. But yeah, they didn't do that here. It was really organic part of the storytelling. So. And yeah, Bastian's favorite episode of the season is Closure. Despite season 7 being weaker than most overall, Closure is actually my favorite episode of the show. I wouldn't try to argue that it's the best, but it is the one that speaks to me. I think Moby's music in the opening scene is beautiful and really sets the tone of the episode. It was an emotionally charged episode, but very quietly so. I like that we get the conclusion to Samantha's storyline, and some of my favourite moments include the opening scene with the children's spirits holding hands, Tina's death storyline, Mulder reading Samantha's diary, and Mulder seeing Samantha's spirit. Yeah, great stuff. I'm sure we'll talk about that at more length in a bit. But Midnight Woodsman, here's bottom 5. Enemy at 5, Sixth Extinction Part 1 at 4th place, Orison at 3rd, Fight Club 2nd, and All Things 1st. Well played for All Things at number 1. Yeah, again, surprised there to see Sixth Extinction Part 1 on the list, but no Sixth Extinction Part 2. I really did think Part 2 was worse than Part 1. So, yeah, his top 5. What? At number 5, first-person shooter. It's fun. In what world?
Well, in his world or their world?
In his world, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Number 4, Sign und Sicht. Number 3 is Jay Soheti, which once again seems to be making its way on a lot of people's lists. Number 2 is Closure, and number 1 is Ex-Cops, which I'm anticipating being Graham's number 1 also, but we'll see. Next up and last one is Von Wenk. Sorry if that's your actual name. Just laughing at it. But yeah, there you go. Bottom 5, Orison at number 5, which, you know, it's a shame on my part. I do like that episode. Number 4, The Amazing Malini. Number 3, The Goldberg Variation. Number 2 and number 1 is everybody's favorites, Fight Club and First Person Shooter. Yeah, that easily the contenders for this season, based on everybody's list. And his top 5, Sixth Extinction Part 2. That's got to be a joke. Come on, you're riling us. Get back to us on that one. Why is that episode in your top 5? Let us know. I'm not asking that in a mean-spirited way. I genuinely give us the reasons. I'd love to know why. What is it about that episode that speaks to you? Because this stuff interests me. I get interested by the fact that just this idea that because things are so subjective, they hit you on an emotional level, a spiritual level, they mean something to you for whatever reason, or you see a performance in a completely different way to what someone else sees it. Like I know people who've said that David Duchovny's performance was great in The Field Where I Died. Yeah. And I'm like, are we watching the same performance? But there are people who think that. But so, yeah, Von Wenk, do get back in touch and just let us know why. Why is that episode in your top 5? I'd love to know. Number 4, Signs and Wonders, which I'm sure will make Graham happy. Yeah. Number 3, Hungry. Number 2, NRME. And number 1, Ex-Cops. And
tell you what, I think Sixth Extinction is so bad that everybody enjoyed Hungry.
Yeah,
it seems to be like there seems to be a lot of love for that one, and I can understand that after 2 turds, then you get a polished turd, and you're like, wow, this is great.
Yeah, it's just staggering.